Hey, what is going on? Episode 136 of the Sims and Lefkoe podcast. Sims, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
Fendrick, how you doing?
I am just
Are we not
lovely.
allowed to talk with like the intro music?
Nope.
I can promise you, Rod, Simba, next week I am going to ruin the intro music. I'm going to just be loud.
So
and
I
I'm
wanted to
coming
let
in
it
strong.
breathe, but like it always is, I got Sims breathing down my neck. He's got a Yankees game that he's got to watch.
Yeah.
We went to the game 3. You went to game 4.
He just slammed my head into the mic again.
That's what
Stop.
How was the atmosphere?
Best atmosphere I've ever been in any stadium ever.
Ever?
No.
Ever.
They were down
No.
4-0.
It
They
was
came back.
bonkers.
And
It
you
was-
said you were going bonkers.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we all were. I mean,
What is
it
that?
was,
Who's we all?
I mean, anybody in my section, the whole stadium, we were jumping around, slapping fives,
Who'd you go
fist
with?
bumps. I went with a few friends from my town.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great though. I mean, first of all,
You're
You're telling me
friends
the
with Mike
Yankee
Town?
Stadium was crazier than playing at Oklahoma, like all the places you've played?
I don't think I've ever heard a stadium going as crazy as that place did when Aaron Judge hit the double off the wall.
Maybe it was crazier when we were there when Aaron Judge hit the home run.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Judge hit a home run too, but it was 4-0.
I know.
And it was a pitcher's duel, and then it became 4-0, and we're down 4 in the 7th inning.
And you felt like, were you drinking?
I had just a little bit. I wasn't going
Okay.
crazy. I had 2 big beers, but yeah, I mean, it was perfect. I
Two
was
big
just
beers for you.
2 big beers.
beers.
I was right in the right frame of mind,
That's
and
perfect.
It's crazy. This team gives you belief. Like even when we were down 4-0, everybody was like, well, we can get things going.
Exactly.
And then it just kind of chipped
So
away.
when Fendrick and I were there on Monday,
Right.
10 rows ahead of us, the most beautiful head of hair that I've ever seen.
Luscious
I
locks.
thought Zeus was sitting 10 rows in front of us.
Right.
Nope. It was Robert Kraft sitting there with Les Moonves
Oh.
and some other big ballers.
Talking about
Yeah.
Deflategate.
There were these 2 little kids that we thought were talking shit to Kraft the entire time.
Right.
And as he was leaving, he actually walked up and Fendrick was like, oh my God, he's going to go talk to those kids. Ends up taking a photo, takes off his Super Bowl ring,
Yeah.
gives it to the kids, and that was when everybody went from, oh, there's Robert Kraft to let me stand up if he's letting people hold the Super Bowl ring, and the entire bottom deck just changed.
Right.
Robert Kraft, man, he's just got the juice.
Well, he's a great guy.
He just walks around, he's got it.
He's a good dude. I mean, I don't want him at my Yankees games. Go to your Fenway Red Sox games, okay?
Yeah. Well,
You
yeah,
come
the
to
owners'
Yankee
meeting.
Stadium, root against the Yankees too. I want to boo his ass while he's there too.
He was getting booed.
Good.
was
He
getting a little
deserves
booed.
it.
So also, I'm watching the game last night. I'm out for Taco Tuesday with the lady.
Yo.
And I'm watching the game, and then I look back at the basketball game, and I see LeBron with his head in his hands, and I see Dwayne Wade praying, and
Right.
I go, babe, someone's out.
Yeah.
Like someone's hurt.
Right.
And they show the Celtics, and they show Kyrie Irving. I go, you're telling me Kyrie Irving got hurt? And then I see the Gordon Hayward play, and I go, Gordon Hayward's out for the season, and it's not a sports bar. And everyone's like, I go, I'm sorry. Like, I just knew.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes. It's bad. It's disgusting.
So you had no idea, though. Was it passing around
No,
Yankee
somebody.
Stadium?
It was somebody during the game behind me was like, "Oh man, Gordon Hayward broke his leg. He's out for the year already."
Man.
And nobody in our area, of course, it's full of Yankee fans.
It
Nobody's
goes
rooting
to-
for the Celtics.
Of
Nobody give a
course.
damn.
It
Everybody
goes
was
to
like,
It goes
happy.
to the Mount Rushmore of injuries, though. The Kevin Ware, Paul George, Willis McGay, all those guys.
Right. Still not as nasty as Joe Theismann, but
Oh.
it's up there. It's
To
still
me, though,
gross.
it was one of those things that you've said when you see players react and they cover their ears.
Yes.
It's when you know they heard it.
No doubt about it. It also annoyed me, first of all. Like, again, like ESPN. I can't stand ESPN, all right? They have their own, they think they know everything. They're going to tell Bill Belichick how to coach the Patriots. But the first 35 minutes of SportsCenter last night is on game 1 of the NBA season. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if LeBron James' leg broke in half. I don't give a fuck. It's game
This
1.
is ALCS
Right.
game 4,
It's
NLCS
stupid.
game 3.
And the other thing I thought of, honestly, with the Celtics, I just thought, it's karma. That's what you get for trading away a player that was hurt and trying to pass it off. Then one of your players is hurt.
Man,
I'm
karma.
hot today.
I can
Dude,
tell.
he walked in. You got a fresh haircut.
Yep.
So you're down $400. You're feeling angry.
I have no life this week. When I have Notre Dame, I have too many people texting me, so I go crazy. NBC's texting me, you're texting me, Canvasser's texting me. Everybody wants fucking answers to everything. Fuck off.
And you're exhausted because the Yankees game last
Yeah,
night.
well, no, actually, I mean, the game started
Game's
at
at
5
5 o'clock.
That's the other thing. Like, 5 o'clock game in New York City. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking kidding
Why
me?
does that upset you too? Dude, you are so hot.
That's
right
not
now.
even like,
The traffic, the Ubers.
it's not even possible. It's not even
Take the
possible.
train.
Take the train.
I probably should have, but I wasn't in the city
Can
yesterday.
you imagine Sims on the
So I
train?
went
Me
home.
and Fendrick were face to face on the train, and I was like uncomfortable.
We
Just-
took a local train. We took the 6.
Yeah,
to get
well,
to the
it's
Bronx.
better than going in the car. I can promise you
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
36s. Let me start you off with one non-sport. Carlos Beltran. Who else you got in the NFL?
Oh,
Number 36.
30. Let's see. I don't know why I thought we were on 37.
I got a great
36. I mean, Jerome Bettis is the first 36
Yep.
that popped into my head. DJ Swearinger's 36. Let's see. Other great 36s. I'm always thinking my dad's team. There was a guy named Haynes, Mark Haynes, that
There
was number
absolutely
36.
was. Mark Haynes.
You like that?
He's on my old dude section.
Old dude section. Went to the Broncos. He got traded
He
the
did.
year the Giants won the Super Bowl to the Broncos early in the year. Isn't that fucked up, right? Yeah, so I'll never forget him. He was a good player.
So he was part of the people
Marcus
that allowed
Smart,
21
36.
of 25 to your dad?
He was he was part of that, right? Marcus Smart,
No.
Celtics.
No. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Damn.
Hold on. I got
You're all over the
let
place.
me see. Other 36s. Who else am I missing?
Well,
Okay,
let's
that's
just
it.
go
Go
to
ahead.
Josh. Josh, who do you got?
You're missing Courtney Green from New Rochelle,
Oh,
a safety
my
on the
gosh.
2006 Rutgers football team. Local guy. Don't know how you forgot that one.
Kasim
Courtney was-
Green?
Courtney Green.
Kasim Green.
No, Courtney Green.
Okay.
Kasim Green was also
On that team.
not on that team. He
Okay.
came later. But
All right, fine.
Courtney Green
So
was
glad we
the
can figure
safety
this
on
out.
the 2006 team.
Okay.
He came from New Rochelle with Glenn Lee and Ray Rice.
Okay.
Currently very underwhelming. Dwayne Washington, running back for the
Don't
Lions.
question my Rutgers knowledge.
DJ Swearinger, Robert McLean, Sean Williams from the Bengals, DeAndre Houston Carson, Buda Baker, and then
Buda.
your family member, LaShawn Sims.
Oh, good old
from the
LaShawn,
Titans.
my long-lost cousin.
All-time running backs, Clem Daniels, running back for the Oakland Raiders, Steve Owens, Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Smith, Vi Sikahema,
Oh.
the punt return, kick returner that punched the
Why was that a penalty the other day when Le'Veon Bell did that?
We'll talk about it when we get
Okay.
there. Jerome Bettis and Brian Westbrook. Is Brian Westbrook a Hall of Famer?
No, but he's an NFL
He was
legend.
fucking unreal.
He was unreal.
All the names team, Lawyer Malloy, Merton Hanks, Benny Blades.
oh man,
what
that's
was
some good
Benny
ones.
Blades' real name? Do you know?
No.
It wasn't Benny.
It wasn't?
It was Horatio Benedict Blades,
Holy
which
crap.
is almost as good as Benny. Recent guys, Jim Leonard, Nick Collins, and your guy, Tenard Jackson.
Yo, T. Jack.
Late 90s, the real Sean Williams, the Giants safety who always was a baller.
Right.
Leroy Butler and Mike Zordich.
Damn,
who
more
I loved.
36s than I thought.
And then old dudes, you said Mark Haynes, Terry McDaniel, and Bill Thompson, NBA, Marcus Smart, Eton Thomas, and Rasheed Wallace. rocked it
Rashid was
for
a 36
He
for a
wore
while.
it for a few years.
I always picture him in 30. And
All right, let's do a little Constitution. I'm going to table new Constitution stuff this week.
for the Yankees.
I just know
the
I'm
Yankees.
running out of time, and we're going to put it in there, though. But we do need to read the new, like the what have been, what is it called? Ratified. So I am going to need the music, Josh. Our man Lito Quirky has gone out.
What up,
and he has
Lito?
written in the new Constitution for 13, 14, and 15. 13. Oh, my gosh. In order for Fendrick to show his loyalty to one of the most obscure programs, he will always highlight a player during our numbers section.
Yeah.
99% of our listeners will not know of any of these Maryland or Rutger athletic program players. Is there a great reason for this? No. But damn it, Frederick knows his stuff and will always let us know who is important in that area of sports world. And it keeps him from talking about Survivor.
It's true.
That is number
It is-
13.
it is true.
Fendrick will always find a Rutgers Maryland player. When there is a question that requires us to choose from the entire league, we will not be the crew that just defaults to a big name on a big team simply because they're what's fresh in our minds. We're going to try and pander to teams with a larger fan base. No, we will look over the entire league. We will pull up the teams and attempt to make an informed decision based on merit, production, and whatever the fuck else Sims deems important. Oh, it's gone over from the beginning.
Restart.
And this is the one that we need to do, addressing social problems. When social issues arrive, we cannot simply ignore it and hope it goes away anymore, whether it be what is personally important to us or what is personally important to others. We must all realize that we are part of nature and our communities.
Well put.
And not apart from nature and our communities. So you desire to feel fucking normal comes second to our desire to actually address important issues.
Way to go.
And then this is the last one.
I'm proud to be a Simpson Lefkoean.
Until NFL statisticians can properly quantify a "damn, he fucked him up though" play, we understand that the box score will not tell us everything we need to know about the game. Disruptive plays do still have an impact on a game, even though it doesn't show up on the stat line. And that is.
I love that. That was some good wording there.
Good job,
Lido
Lido.
Quirky.
What up, Lido?
So we have some new submissions. I will check them. I will star them, and we will put them next week. We do have the White Boy Supreme that still has to be made a list, and we have some possible names for the list.
Okay.
Which I believe we're going to start next week. Greg Blankley wants to be known as the Slot Machines. Blake Andrew Pace, the White Boys Whiteboard. Drew called.
They're both good.
The White Boy Supreme Shrine. Insight. He wanted to say that the original White Boy Supremes were Jimmy Orr and Raymond Berry, and that Berry used to walk around squeezing silly putty to keep his fingers strong before the cheater's gloves and stick them. And he also wanted to add Johnny U to this list. And then another possible name. White Boy Supreme list should be called the White Boy Supreme running roster because it will be continued added. That was Quan Melvin.
There are all a lot of good ones there today.
Which one stuck out to you, though? I want to make that announcement right now.
The whiteboard got the best laugh.
Well, the whiteboard and what was the first?
The slot machines.
The slot machines were really good. Both of those. Man.
And what is Sims's pick?
I think the whiteboard, whatever
the
one.
White
that one.
Boys Whiteboard.
Yes.
And that's what we're going with. Blake Andrew Pace, congratulations. You are now officially a part of the podcast. Blankley Cobb Insight, and also my main man Melvin. Thank you so much. That was awesome. I'm glad you laughed at it. But the White Boys Whiteboard is officially a thing.
Because we can erase that crap as soon as you don't become supreme.
Number 2 on the Constitution, we will always. Kyle Shanahan is our favorite coach in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan. First, the 0-6 49ers have a better point differential than the 3-3 Cardinals.
Wow.
The Cardinals are -39. The Niners are -33.
I bet you it's probably better than a few teams, right? I mean, the Ravens, I would think, are probably in that category. I don't know, but go ahead.
Kyle Shanahan quote about his new quarterback.
Right.
He is a gym rat. He doesn't do it to impress you. He does it because he enjoys it. He's going to see a lot of things he hasn't seen before, and that will change each week. That'll probably change each quarter. Heck, it could change each play. It's really how a guy handles that stuff. He's got the ability. I think he's got the mental toughness. I think he'll get better the more he plays. What do you think about C.J. Beathard?
Okay.
Now that you've watched the film.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot to like about C.J. Beathard.
Really?
Well, there's a lot. Yes, this is the thing I like. He is tough as hell. He's fearless. He really, in layman's terms, just has bigger balls than Brian Hoyer. I'm sorry. That's really all there is to it. As a decision maker, as a guy just trying to extend a play, whatever it may be.
Can I do some Lefkoe inventory?
Yeah,
How's
sure.
his arm strength?
His arm strength is NFL starting quarterback average.
How's he spin it?
Just okay.
How's his accuracy?
Just okay.
How is he doing any reading of the defense at the line of scrimmage?
It didn't seem like it, but Kyle's not a huge, let's check at the line of scrimmage. It's kind of like,
what to do.
I've already figured out when we get in this formation, this is what they're going to do.
Is there anything that Brian Hoyer does better than him?
No, I really don't think there is.
So it just comes down to who's got a little bit more guts?
I think he does, yes.
And you're telling me that this guy, what were the plays that come to mind that you're like, oh, he's got some confidence?
Well, just, I think about the game started off a little shaky. He had some drop passes, he had a ball that was almost intercepted, and then he threw like a seam pass down the middle to Kittle. It's kind of a wobbling ball, but it still wasn't an easy throw, came off a little quick play action pass, and I mean, just he was aggressive in his decision and his throw in general. And then he really, after that, got some confidence and was good from that standpoint on. Now, Listen, I don't think he's the answer for the.
He's not the long-term
I
quarterback.
don't think so.
But for this year, where they're so freaking close,
Give it a try.
give it a try.
Yes, sir. I think
Okay.
that's the way to go. That game was misleading. It really wasn't that close. If you really break
The
it down.
fumble that we still don't think was a fumble for Washington that
Right.
the 49ers returned to the one.
DJ Swearinger getting the personal foul when they had a third down stop led them to going for it on 4th and 1 on the 1 to score the touchdown before the half.
Gotcha.
There was a few plays in the game where the Redskins more screwed it up than.
This is the opposite of your Chiefs point of a team that hasn't won yet, but in every game there's been 2 to 3 plays that like have completely changed the game for them. Correct?
Yeah. They're. You're right. They're the example of the team that you want to go. You want to know how close the league is. They're the perfect example.
Yes.
And they can't make that 2 or 3 plays every game to kind of put them over the edge. Let alone they've been screwed by 2 bad offensive pass interference calls.
Yes.
Mike Pereira came out and said the Niners are being screwed.
Yeah.
Their last 2 offensive pass interference calls, the one against the Rams, the
Right.
one against the Washington, were completely wrong.
Pitiful.
There's some we've been talking about this for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Offensive pass interference was undoubtedly something passed along to all of the referees to
Yes.
make a point.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because of Kyle's route combinations and setting picks. I don't know what it is, but they're getting really hit with it hard.
They're trying to be really strict with it calling when I watch it on film. And if you don't follow the rule textbook wise, as far as picking a guy at 1 yard,
Yeah.
1 yard down the field is as far as you can go. The only team that I watch week to week
And
that
we're
is-
gonna get to that later.
is textbook is the New England Patriots. They do it the right way every time.
Very
Isn't
surprising.
it crazy that
Yeah.
a team would practice how to do something to
It's
not
amazing.
get penalized?
It's amazing.
Practice, yeah.
Wow. Hey, did you hear that the Bills worked out a quarterback this week?
You know, I think I did hear a little something about that.
His name's Matt Sims.
Any relation?
I don't know. Chris,
I know that guy.
any chance?
I don't know. I mean, I think it
Is
was
your brother staying healthy, staying working out? and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, he is. He's dying for a team to call him. He's had a lot of teams call, a lot of teams ask where he's at. He kind of ended the preseason with a little bit of a knee injury, so he had
Oh,
like a
shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. He had like a 3-week period where he wasn't even allowed to be signed by a team if it were because he was not healthy, and I think the Falcons paid him a little money because of it. But yes, he's back healthy. Did work out there yesterday. I know he said it went well. I didn't talk much about it, but it's more what teams do just to keep inventory of what's on the street, right? In case something happens, they're going to go, okay, well, we have our
You get paid to go
we
work
have our
out?
board, our whiteboard here of who's our top 5 free agent quarterbacks off the street, whatever it may be.
Just in case something
Just in
happens.
case something happens.
Do you
right.
get paid to go work out?
No, you don't. It's just
Do they fly you out, though?
they fly you out, they put you up, all of that. The biggest thing too is it does go on like the NFL, transaction list at the end of the day.
So if another team wants you and they see that the Bills worked you out, they might sign you
they might,
faster.
right? At least they go, oh, okay, the Bills brought him in, so they're yes. So we'll see. We'll
That's
see.
good.
Man. Yeah,
Pulling for him.
I know.
If Bill Belichick brings someone in and other people see that, does that mean more? Because everyone's like, "Oh shit, Belichick's onto this guy. We should look at him."
What happens there is, I mean, people should do that, of course, but what happens there, and this is the worst thing about working there, especially when you were a bitch boy like me in the scouting department, is they work out everybody. So again, like when
I know a lot more than other teams.
they work out fucking everybody
Because they want to update all the time.
they're gonna know everything. Oh, if we're
Who's watching the workouts?
all the scouts, Nick Caserio,
Nick Caserio, I would imagine, is the
Bill, most of the time, not always. If it's some guys in a position of need, he's going to be out there. If it's just like a Tuesday where we're taking inventory on the 10 best tackles on the street,
Yeah.
he might not show up for that one. But yes, it is the worst thing about working in the scouting department because all you do is pick people up and drive them to the airport all week long.
So you're
guy. Do
just.
you have any funny stories from that?
I mean, I have a
that
lot
sounds
of
like a podcast in itself.
Yeah,
I mean,
just driving players, workout players to the office.
me and like
Because you driving,
Dallas
first
Clark.
of all.
Yeah, I know.
First of all, Chris Sims is the angriest, loudest driver ever. If there's a car in front, I mean, he's going to yell him off the road.
Guys are getting out of the car being like, "We're not coming here."
So
This
you
guy's
have
crazy.
Dallas Clark in the back.
I've had Dallas Clark in the car with me.
And what'd you guys talk about?
I got in charge of Dwight Freeney the time he was there. Anytime there was kind of an older player that I crossed over playing with, they were like, Chris, why don't you get him? And
Yeah.
whatever. We talk about whatever it may be. Jeff Saturday, a car once. But Dwight Freeney had a weird thing where I picked him up that morning, brought him back to the facility. Great. Oh, you know Dwight, right? You go pick him up. Yeah, I met him like once, but sure. Yeah, I don't have any film to break down, guys. Don't worry. I'll go get him.
You were the bitch boy.
I was the fucking bitch boy. But then what happened too was on a Friday where the day is shorter and I'm like, oh, I can get out of the building at a good time today. they're like, Dwight, you live in Boston, right? I mean, because I lived in Dallas. Dwight wants to go to one of those really good lobster roll places. Can you take him? And I was like, sure, I'll take him. No problem.
And then how was it? You had lobster rolls with Dwight?
I didn't have the lobster rolls. I had something else because I don't do lobster rolls. But
why do you not do
I
lobster?
don't know. Cold fish on a bun just ain't cool to me, okay? I just don't know what that
What do you mean it's delicious?
I mean, we'll fucking cook it and make it hot and put it in some pasta or something, or just put it by itself. But I'm not.
But you like sushi?
I do, but cold lobster, I don't know. There's no.
It just doesn't do it for
doesn't
you.
do it for me.
Have you
right.
tried it?
No.
For new listeners to the podcast, I might have to buy you a lobster roll.
Better be really fucking good.
First, like few episodes.
Yeah, we had Sims try something on every
he
episode.
tried a pudding,
Yeah.
a banana,
and a bagel.
Yeah.
A bagel, right.
Very unimpressed with bagels. One thing that you should be impressed with is the Jets Safeties. I need you to officially pick a nickname. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Patrick Ermlich, the Jetpack. That was from last week.
Right.
Jets Joe 73, New Jack City.
Ooh, it's a good one.
Love it.
I do too.
Liam Swag 1, May and Dismay.
May and dismay.
So it's down to 3.
Okay.
The Jetpack,
Right.
New Jack City, May and Dismay.
I think I like New Jack City.
What do you think, Fendrick?
I like Jetpack, but I'm in for New Jack City as well.
When I got the tweet,
Right.
New Jack City, I went, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like in my head.
That's
We're going
New York.
New Jack
It's
City.
a movie about New York. I mean, there's a lot of good. And
So we have now created 2 nicknames for everyone else in the NFL. You
Yep.
can use it at your own discretion. The Chicago running backs are the Hebrew and the Hammer, which is awesome.
it's awesome.
And the Jets safeties are New Jack City,
Man.
which I love as well.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jets Joe 73, who we totally thought was Joe
We
Klecko.
thought it was Joe Klecko.
And we DM'd him and we're like, yo, is this Joe Klecko? He goes, I wish. And I was like, fuck, I wish too. But I saw the Jaguars put out recently, they want a nickname for their secondary,
Oh, okay.
which maybe we can help them out. What do you
Big
think?
cats.
People actually asked for you to do more animal impersonations
love
after
it.
your
No
horse.
problem.
All right, so yeah, that was your
Big Cat
Jaguar.
Rescue. Did you guys see that on the Thursday night game a few weeks ago? Big Cat Rescue. That was the thing I was with in Tampa. I would always bring like kids, shelter home kids, people like
Oh,
that.
that
to
was like
Big
your
Cat.
charity.
Yeah, that was my charity. Yes.
So you take them, so you play with the cats.
Right, yeah, well, they didn't play with them because they would eat you. But yeah, you said, "Hey, cat," and you looked at them, and they had a big sanctuary to walk around.
So
and,
do the Jaguar sound again. This is a lot of fun.
That's what they play over the loudspeaker at
Penn
Penn
State.
State.
Yo,
Yeah,
my
and
gosh.
Northwestern too.
it'll fucking drive you crazy. The Penn State game. First down, Penn State. Tackle, Penn State.
What about an elephant, Chris?
No, that's.
And let's do one more. Do you have an animal?
Oh man,
man.
my little girl's gonna be disappointed.
Do I have an animal?
Of course you do.
What I do in my house right now is try to do cat sounds with my little girl. Like we have 4 cats, you know that. 3 of them are under my command.
What does that mean?
I'm the leader of the pack. Like,
Is it because you feed them?
well, it's just because
You are Mufasa.
I'm Mufasa. They grew up with me. I've pet them. I show attention. But we got this other cat, Nevis, right? My family, my wife, and they want to get. He's fucking crazy cat. I mean, he's the one I told you got hit by a car. He came home, his eye was popped out of the socket, and he broke his face. But he lived. It's like a Chris Sims story. But he lived. But he is under the command of my little girl. And I try to gain his command back. So she like has his call down, and I try to out call her for him.
What do you mean? What's her call?
She like has his meow down to like it's like.
and does he respond to it?
Your family is so interesting.
Does he respond?
He like runs to it.
So he knows.
He is. Cats
That's
are
amazing.
so smart.
That's amazing.
People don't realize that
And
just
so
because
do
they
it one
don't
more
come
time?
up to you at the door where they go, I'm a dog. Cats
So
are
do the
like,
cat one more time.
it's pretty good. If you
Play
heard,
that for your cats. If you could send us video of Chris calling over your cat, that would be incredible.
You know, I do want Philip back on the podcast, but I kind of think we should bring in Nevis and Charlotte and just have them talk to each other on the podcast. That would be fun. And just see how. Okay, I'm done.
like we
I'm
needed
done.
another animal in our house.
I want to give a quick little Lefkoe Wentz boner because if he keeps winning, I'm going
Front
to keep
dunk.
getting boners. Front dunk. Carson Wentz is the most blitzed quarterback in the NFL. Blitzed
Yeah.
on 39.3% of his dropbacks. And against that, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Unreal.
I wouldn't blitz that fucker.
Is there fear as an Eagles fan that people will stop blitzing him and just dropping people back?
Well, they're going to see that stat and they're going to go, man, well, why does everybody keep doing this then? And someone's going to break it down eventually and go, you know what? Why would we give this guy a one-on-one opportunity on the outside? Why would we give him the chance to make one guy miss, right?
But the offensive line's been good enough that you kind of have to blitz.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be careful,
especially with Lane Johnson clearing concussion protocol, which is great. We had 2 iTunes comments that were Eagles related. 3 Eagles fan again, love them. Fly Eagles Fly. The question is for Lefkoe. Man, are you ready to believe in this Eagles team? They've battled key injuries to some of their best players, and they still win. It doesn't matter. This is the best team in the NFC. And then Bernard Harahan, 5 stars, but need a crossover. If Lefkoe man picks against the Eagles one more time, he should change his name to Greenberg. Greenberg. Also, I'm going to need a crossover pod with Sims and Russ talking about football, and kids. It's from my other Philly podcast.
Oh, gotcha.
You're not getting up that early. I know you.
No, I don't want to.
We went through this before. I kind of feel like I should keep picking against the Eagles.
I hear you. You're anybody that we bust on Lefkoe. Trust me, Lefkoe loves the fucking Eagles. He's like he's all in on them. That's why it's fun when he doesn't pick them. Yeah, do whatever you want. Screw the people.
No, I keep thinking I need to pick against them for the luck. By the way, at the end of this podcast, I did a pretty sizable interview.
Healthy interview.
With Rich Cohen, a writer that it's my favorite writer. I've read 5 of his books, which is insane. Who reads that many books? He wrote a book about the Cubs, but I asked him, he's a crazy fan. He writes for Vanity Fair. He wrote the Bears book when he came in here. We talked about the Bears. He explained the history of basketball, football.
Right.
He told a story about how the trade of Babe Ruth to the Red Sox led to the creation of the NFL and George Halas and the Chicago Bears.
Well, you mean the trade to the Yankees, Red Sox to
That's
the
what
Yankees.
I mean, trade to the Yankees.
Gotcha.
He told that story. We had a conversation about why do intelligent people root for sports? Like, it's so ridiculous, which was a lot of fun. He apparently watched one of the World Series games last year. He's a Cubs fan with Chris Pratt, the actor.
Yeah.
And he was so nervous. And Chris, I didn't realize, was a very religious person.
Chris Pratt is the guy that's on like Jurassic World.
Yes.
All those, right. He's a big Yankees Patriots.
He cooked Rich Cohen boar tacos from a wild boar that he himself killed, and during the game said, "I'm worried about your Cubs. Let's say a prayer." And they prayed together, and Chris Pratt prayed for the Cubs, and then at a red carpet event 4 months later during another huge fucking movie, he sees Rich and goes, "The Cubs, they won. We prayed for them. We prayed for them." But he toured with the Rolling Stones. I just asked him about, like, how do you start covering things and being a fan? So it's coming up at the end of the podcast. I wanted to preview it. Smart motherfucker.
Hey, you don't have to explain to me. I've never more. I mean, like I've always told you, my only team that I'm truly a fan of in all of sports is the Yankees. I am a diehard Yankee fan, and I become a child when I watch their games.
Yes.
Like my wife, to the point where she looks at me at 11 o'clock at night and I'm yelling at the TV screen. She's like, "Wow, you're still rooting for them hard, huh?" Yes, I am.
I feel bad with Carson Wentz and all this fanhood thinking about the Browns. DeShone Kizer is back as starter for the Browns. They have changed quarterbacks 20 times in the last 43 games.
Right.
Hugh is 9-29, 8-8 with the Raiders, 1-21 with the Browns. Was that one game enough? We talked about good for Kizer to see it. Was that enough for Kizer to see something?
Yeah, not really. I feel bad. So this is a game I have not watched back on film yet, so I can't give you all the details. I know we're just watching the condensed game on TV, like the condensed on Game Pass. It was close. It really was. He did some good things. Again, it's not an easy situation, but you think about his interception to Jonathan Joseph that gets returned for a touchdown. Game's still in tow there. They're driving the ball. They're in a good spot.
What about Kizer?
Oh.
This was supposed to be him, a mental break.
Yes.
You think that was enough time?
No, it was not. I think it was more of a, like, listen, Kizer has played just okay and below okay, and Kevin Hogan came in and did pretty good things. How am I going to sell to my team that I don't start Kevin Hogan the next week when we almost won under him? So he did
Makes sense.
Now that's out of their system, and now they go back to Kizer.
The NFL owners' meetings, the fall meetings just happened. Roger Goodell went up there, says that he hasn't talked to Trump. that he wants to keep politics of the NFL. He says that he wants everyone to stand, that they still want to show respect to their flag. And he said he wouldn't get into hypothetical discipline for a team. So they said, you said that the NFL doesn't want to discipline players if they protest.
Right.
There are teams that say they will discipline. What will your actions be? And he says, I don't want to get into any hypotheticals. And then, of course, was the meeting yesterday where the players, a few of them came and actually talked to the owners. Are you hearing anything about this? And what's your take on all of it?
No, my whole take on all of this, it's just the owners are so hypocritical in so many ways. First of all, I mean, let's just talk about Jerry Jones. I mean, he's worried about the rights of Ezekiel Elliott. He ain't worried about the rights of the rest of the NFL. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott plays for me. I'm worried about his rights. We're not treating him fairly. But the rest of you guys, you're not on my team. Fuck off. They bother me from that standpoint. I'm glad Ezekiel Elliott can play. My big thing with this, and I got in this conversation at the Yankees game with somebody last night, that we have to, as players, as a player, as a supporter of what the African-American community is trying to do here, we have to not kneel for the anthem. It's over. Like I've said, white America has won this. Donald Trump has made this into you're disrespecting America now. It's totally changed the narrative, and some of the people can't even comprehend it, and they don't even know why they're kneeling. There's a lot of idiots out there that think they're actually kneeling to disrespect the flag of the military now. They think that's why they're actually kneeling.
Yeah,
so,
and it doesn't help that this week also it came out that the ratings are down 7.5 points. Percent.
Right, and that's the other reason I don't want it to happen. I want the players to, again, like I said last week, I want good for the players, and I want the players to make money.
I think now is actually a good time for me to do this. Two really good guys in the NFL. We're going to talk about all this divide. I know some of you, and we've seen it on the iTunes page, aren't happy about the politics and stuff. Then let me talk about two guys that are doing really great shit before we get to Big Phil Simms. Chris Long donated his first 6 game checks of the year to scholarships at the private middle and high school in Charlottesville, Virginia, where a lot of the divide happened. He announced today, Wednesday, he's donating his final 10 game checks this season to organizations in Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Boston, the 3 markets he played, to support educational equality.
Right.
Donating his entire yearly salary, a $1 million base salary this season. And he said, in my 10th year, I want to celebrate the awesome opportunity I've had by giving back to the communities that have given me that gift. I just think that's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. And you know what? Shout out to Howie Long for raising good fucking kids.
Yeah.
We've had Howie on the podcast a lot. That's a really good family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Howie's a stand-up guy. He's not going to take any crap from anybody.
No. And good for Chris, who I think he always tweets really smart stuff, and I always appreciate it. Good guy. Other guy I wanted to shout out.
This is the other thing I just want to say about the hypocrisy of this. This is the point I missed where I was trying to go. I'm sorry I lost it because I got into something else. Is the fact that, again, rights of players, that's where I was going with the Ezekiel Elliott thing too. Rights of players, right? They went in there and they marched and, okay, you're going to talk about the rights of players to kneel, but then they want the right to not give the players the rights and we just suspend you if we deem necessary. It drives me crazy, the constant...
The NFL has their cake and eats it too.
Yes.
We want our players to have respect, and then they go to a court case with Zeke and they say, but we also want to have the right that if we punish someone, no one can question it.
Right, no respect. The hell with it.
How do you think... Oh, let me get this other thing out.
Yeah.
Doug Baldwin and Roger Goodell co-signed a letter sent to the Senate Judiciary Committee expressing support for a bill that seeks criminal justice reform. Apparently, Baldwin has also been doing a lot of other work, too. He's been in his own community. I just think for Baldwin to go out there and do something like this, I think him and Chris Long are actually impacting our society and community. And you can agree, no matter what your stance is with politics, there's been a huge issue in criminal justice, and it needs to be reformed.
Yes.
So much so that Goodell put his name on the paper, too.
Right.
And I think it's actually really impressive what he's done. What do you think Zeke is going through?
Just mental.
Do you think he's been able to focus on just, no matter what happens, be ready to play?
No way. He's trying his best, but the first thing is when he gets away from it, he's still got a lawyer calling him, the NFLPA calling him, Jerry Jones is calling him to give an update, Jason Garrett's giving an update. So it's constantly on his mind. There's no way you can totally avoid it. And that's hard. Football is freaking impossible when everything is going right, let alone when you have to worry about other shit off the field. And like we said, I mean, he's still an awesome running back, but I still don't think he's the guy we saw last year. And it's hard on the team,
How does
too.
this impact the team to prepare?
I don't know if they would prepare any other way, regardless. I think that's why they need to have him out there, especially this year. Make it happen this year to where he plays, and then in the offseason, he's going to get suspended. I mean, he's going to
whenever it happens, yeah.
But next offseason, at least they can devote some offseason to adjusting to that.
Let's do a little Chris Sims Oracle prediction.
Yeah.
When does Zeke's suspension start?
I think it'll be the first game of next year.
He will play the rest of the season.
I do, yes.
I should trade for him in fantasy.
I think you're going to see it's full steam ahead now. They're going to draw it out, especially that they got the injunction yesterday. And then now to they're gonna it's gonna play out in the spring, and that's when the Cowboys. That's why I think they're freaking out because they're going, we're not prepared to have lost them for this many games.
Right.
So this offseason they can prepare that way and maybe get a few more running backs.
How does this impact, like, let's say the Niners, who are getting ready to play the Cowboys?
Oh, man.
So do all teams just prepare for Zeke?
Yeah, well, it's not like the Cowboys are going to change their plan of attack, really. They are what they are. They're built around this offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott running the game, and the running game. So even when, 2 years ago and it was no DeMarco Murray and it was Darren McFadden and everything like that, it still didn't change. But what happens really is you might get more scared than you would with Ezekiel Elliott at running back. You're not going to change your defensive approach, but you might go, man, 2nd and 7, I might have took a chance to play coverage. But now Zeke's in the game. I don't know if I can afford my corner being one-on-one with Dez or whatever it may be. Those are the little things that I would look at.
All right. Well, we don't know if Zeke, what's going to happen, but we do know one thing.
Yeah.
It is time for Big Phil Sims. Phil in time with Phil Sims.
We got him.
You ready for the call?
Yeah, call him.
Of course.
Got to make sure he shuts his freaking mouth. There's a Yankees game today I got to get home to.
Exactly. I don't know why this makes me laugh.
I love it.
Let's see. Hopefully he's got his phone on.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Who's this?
Joe's Bar and Grill.
Yep. What do you want?
Nothing.
Hey, Phil.
Hello, Adam. How you doing?
Oh, I'm so good. Hey, Phil.
Hey, I'm good, Phil. Today,
Oh.
I can't be angry. I'm tired. So
I came in angry and tired.
Chris came in
no,
real
but you're
angry.
always angry, son.
Good.
So,
Yes.
We had an iTunes comment, Phil. Jackhammer505 says, great podcast. I think Phil in Time should be called Tell Us How You Really Feel, which I actually like.
I do like that too.
Ooh. Who? Somebody sent that in to you?
Yeah,
Yes.
What do you think? Do you like Phil in Time or Tell Us How You Really Feel?
Oh, I'll tell you how I really feel. I'm going to steal it because I'm going to start using it and make some money off
Make
of
T-shirts.
it.
Perfect. All right.
Tell us how you really feel. Yes. Well, okay. I don't know what to say if I could really do that.
Well, Phil, I hear
It'd probably
that.
get me fired even from a podcast.
No.
We ain't paying you shit.
Trust me, if I haven't been fired yet, you're not going to get fired.
Phil, so I hear you have a little breakdown of the teams in the NFC that you think could actually make it to the Super Bowl.
No, I didn't break it down. I think it's if I just went through the list, if you said
Do you need to
Minnesota
pull up the
Vikings,
teams?
can they go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so
Okay.
here, let's do this. Let's just do it this way.
Pull up the teams,
I
Chris.
got the teams out, right? There's the NFC ranked. Let's just right now take away the bottom 4, okay? Like Tampa Bay, I don't think can go to the Super
No.
Bowl. Chicago Bears can't go to the
No.
Super Bowl. The Giants at this point cannot go to the Super Bowl.
No.
And then the San Francisco 49ers. So
No.
now we have 12 other teams. Let's
Right.
start off. You just said the Minnesota Vikings, they're number 2. The Eagles definitely can go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, of course.
Right. The Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
Yes. Now, this is where it's tricky. Number 4 in the list is the Los Angeles Rams. You think they can really go to the Super Bowl? I don't
Do I
think
think
so.
they really can? No, but I don't discount it just because of how there's just not that big of a difference between these teams that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So when I watch the Rams, I'll still see plenty of opportunities there that as the year goes on, if Jared Goff takes advantage of these opportunities on a more consistent basis, that they're going to be interesting. And they're a big play defense.
Right.
Anytime you have Aaron Donald, he can win the game by himself with 2 plays.
Right. You're right. I know. That's the conversation I was going to have with
You
Dad.
cut out. You still there?
We're still there. We're here. You hear us?
Yes, I do now.
It's Josh's cell phone. That's the problem. That I know the point he brought up there was really where I was going to go with this, but he texted me before it because that is the one conversation we've had here. Like, people can't get over the fact that the league is so close. I think college football has infiltrated all our brains where we go, oh, the number 1 team beats the number 25 team by 40 points. And the league is so close, like Dad is saying. I don't mean to get us off topic, but I just got to – I think people –
No, well, you're right. Here, why is the league so close? It's so close because of many things. But the biggest one is, I say to people all the time, you're underestimating the number of good players in the league.
Right.
And there's so much involved in winning a game. Listen, you played, son. We would be on a trip coming back on the road. Let's say if we played in Arizona, wherever we played, and we'd be on the plane riding back, and we had won. And it was such a relief, even if we were favored. And Mark Bavaro one time turned around to me after we had won, and we were all carrying on the plane, and he goes, can you imagine if we'd have lost? And it's just like, wow, yeah, it's devastating and that was what we're talking about 30 years ago now.
Right.
Now there's just so many good players. And last year, if you told me who's the best pass rusher, I'm just throwing his name out there, Von Miller in the NFL. If you asked me this year, I probably wouldn't say that. It might be somebody else. You know, I look at Melvin Ingram. I just see just so many guys that can make plays, and I think that's just one of the reasons. You take that emotion, desperation, coaching, you put all this together, and you got a league that's bunched together like I've never seen it before.
No doubt. All right, so wait, real quick, just go through the rest of those teams. We take the Rams. We did that. Okay, I don't think the Rams can legitimately in the Super Bowl. Go to the Super Bowl. I think they can be in the playoffs, but that's as far as I'm going to give them there. Green Bay. I mean, I'm saying negative Ghost Rider there. I don't think they're.
Nope, I'm saying no too, just because. Hey, look, the team was built for Aaron Rodgers, and he's not there.
Right. All right.
That's it.
All right, and then here we go. We got the Saints, Falcons, Redskins, Seahawks.
Saints, Falcons, Redskins, Seahawks. Yes to all.
Yes, and then we got 10 Detroit, 11 Arizona, and 12 Dallas. Who are you saying no to?
Detroit.
And Arizona?
And Arizona, yes.
Yeah, I'm saying no, too. They might be able to get in the playoffs. I don't think they can legitimately get to the Super Bowl. And then you have Dallas Cowboys at 12.
Well, yep, the Dallas Cowboys, you just can't discount them for this reason. One, they got a quarterback that can make plays when it's not there, but their offensive line, it's not what it was. I talked about this on our show last week, that, I said disappointing things, offensive lines. I went down them and I said, and last, which I really should have put first, the Dallas Cowboys. They are built for their offensive line in the same respect, to dominate the game, to control the tempo, to keep their defense in situations, mainly off the field, and give them a chance where they're fresh. And if they hustle, they can squeeze out these victories like they did last year. Hasn't been the same this year. They haven't dominated like they did last year. Of course, there's some changes, and that's why they're, hey, but can they get it right? I believe they can on the offensive line. And it really is about their offense, the same as the Oakland Raiders. I don't know why I brought this up. But the Raiders, their offensive line, for them to have great success, it's not Derek Carr. It's the offensive line that must be great for them to win enough games to be a factor. And so far this year, I just watched them today, so once again I'm on their thing, but so far this year, their offensive line has not been what it was last year.
Not even close. I agreed with you there. That's the one thing people are not realizing, because they can't dominate the line of scrimmage. They're not protecting like they have in the last few years, all that. Okay, last thing we're going to go to real quick, because I'm trying to make this podcast fast today, because it's a 5 o'clock.
I'm losing you again. The phone stinks. Can y'all spend some money and get better connections?
Thank you.
I'm going to call you on my phone next week.
We'll talk about that with Bleacher Report. We do need a real landline. All right, but I want to make this quick because I want to get home. See, look at this.
Well, why'd you pick it up?
Oh, well, because I'm trying to give it straight. You hear me, Dad?
Here we go. I couldn't. I lost you guys. Can we get listen? You're a high-tech company and all this, and we can't even get a phone connection that works?
No, we cannot. Don't even get me started on this topic right now, because this will actually get me fired. All right, so the other subject we want to talk about, we'll make this fast, because I want to go to the Yankee. I want us to be on the couch to watch the Yankees game later on.
All right, go.
The aggressive throwing in football. It's one thing that I know you and I have talked about. Like, the Charlie check down, 9,000 bubble screens, and he's 10 for 11 for 120 yards, and he hasn't thrown the ball 5 yards yet. Like, we're seeing that fall by the wayside in football.
Yes.
And I would like to hear your reasons why, and we'll both just wax poetically about it for a few minutes.
Well, it only takes a second for me. Listen, like anything, you get used to it. It's like if somebody came in here every day, boy, it's not a good thing, and slapped me in the back of the head. It would hurt the first day. By the 50th day, I'd be like, oh, man, please slap me in the back of the head. I need it. And it's the bubble screens. We see it starting in youth football, all that. It filtered down. And the colleges use it, of course, because of many reasons why. I won't get into them. And the NFL, what was it, maybe 5 years ago? I was truly would do games and be jealous. I wanted to go, are you kidding me? He's 10, like you say, 10 for 10 for 200 yards and 3 TDs, and a fifth grader can complete all these passes.
Right.
And but they got so used to seeing it. The athletes, goes back to our original thought, the athletes have gotten better all over the field, and even if you block them, they still tackle you, and the inside pursuit is crushing them also.
Yes.
And I even heard John Gruden say something about the other night, and he goes, I don't know how he said it. It was a couple of weeks ago. He goes, man, thank God we're getting rid of these bubble screens. And
yeah,
was like,
he has. He's been against them.
When he said it.
I know.
And down the field, just the greatest example that I can give of all the teams I've watched so far this year, the New England Patriots, it makes me feel good too, this respect. Christopher, Adam, we pay way too much attention to preseason, and I judge it way too closely. And I get burned every year by it, but two things have come about. The New Orleans Saints are what I thought they might be in the preseason. I'm starting to see it now.
Right.
The Pittsburgh's defense blitzed a tremendous amount in preseason. And what I call blitzes, sometimes it's 4 guys, but 4 of them come from outside the tight end on the same side.
Right.
So that's been pretty good. But the downfield throwing, I remember watching New England when Tom Brady was playing going, my gosh, every throw they're trying to score a touchdown. I've never seen anything like it. And if you watch them a couple weeks, well, just about every game, really, and especially against the Jets, it was out and ups, it's seams, it's deep overs. That's all. The Julian Edelman, Wes Welker playbook is completely gone. Danny Amendola, what's he doing? Running down the field.
Right.
Chris Hogan, he's not trying to
Brandon
shake somebody
Cooks.
loose at 2 yards. They're down the field, and how do they do it? Well, they just keep an extra guy in. Gronk on the way as he's running down hits somebody, or the running back, and now Tom Brady has the extra time, and everybody's very aggressive in pass coverage. And even if they're not, they're going to find the open spots and zones, and they're out running them in man coverage. It's fun to watch. And the Patriots are doing it great.
Wait, the last part, because we're going to hang up on you here in a second. The other thing I think that adds to that, I just want to add this because I think in the conversation, is what you and I have talked about many times, that fucking cover 3 is the vogue coverage in football because the Seattle Seahawks brought it, and now it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's the San Francisco 49ers, it's the Atlanta Falcons, it's the Oakland Raiders. They're all running the Seattle scheme. So I think that plays into it too, because I know you and me, we were like, damn, if we got to play against cover 3 all the time, we'd be throwing, seams and comebacks all day long.
Just right in the middle of the field.
Right, just anything to attack. Like, there's no way you could play that against strong-arm quarterbacks for the most part, and Brady's kind of showed that. But I just want to hear your 2 cents about that. Make it quick, big guy.
No, it is. I'll make it quick. I see the package. It's the Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay 2 or whatever they called it back then. The Tampa 2 coverage. Everybody learned all the beaters, and now when you watch all these teams, I see the same plays, and they keep working against the same teams all the time. I saw Tom Coughlin this summer over on a football field. He was watching his grandson play baseball, and we're just talking. He goes, did you ever think we'd see the day when cover 3 would be the thing in the NFL again?
Right.
And he just said it so incredulously. I go, man, Tom, I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're right. It's incredible that it's like in vogue, and it gives up so many. Hey, I understand. Stop the run.
Yeah.
So everybody, but it gives up so many big pass plays. But you know what? as a fan, it's good for me because I like watching it.
It is too. All right, we're gonna go. Adam's getting frustrated. He hasn't talked in 4 minutes.
Oh,
So he's
Adam,
gonna
I'm
go.
sorry, man. Adam, you got a question for for what is it we're going to do?
No, Big Phil.
Tell us how you really feel. Come on.
Tell us how you really feel, Phil.
Feel. I think you said feel there. You sound a little southern when you said that the first time.
Well,
like,
I did
how
live
you
in
doing?
your state of Kentucky, Phil. Phil, I just want to say, hey, man, thank you so much. Real appreciate you coming by.
All right, see you.
Bye,
Have
Dad.
a good day, guys.
All right,
guys.
see you later.
Coughlin story. Awesome.
Amazing.
Also, I don't think people realize Sims, we've done thousands of videos together.
Yeah.
And there's a few different
Oh, that
phrases
you know.
that you
In
have.
Vogue.
Right.
And In Vogue had its like a good 1.5 year run.
Right.
I know this is the In Vogue thing right now. What did you say about what's his name's pants? Fashion faux pas.
Fashion faux pas.
About
Idris Elba's pants.
Got the fashion faux pas
Play
pants.
it by year.
Smoking,
by year.
smoking mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Smoking mirrors. Yes.
Cover 3. Explain to people cover 3.
Right. So cover 3, safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners on the outside. They could be playing like bump man-to-man or off, but basically those 3 guys are in charge of the 3 sections deep behind them going backwards.
And typically there's some form of 4.
Yes, quarters, which would just be, again, just the simplest terms. The 2 safeties got those middle 2 quarters of the field, and the corners have the outside
or
corners
even
of the
like
field.
a 2-man under, which is 2 safeties that
really
go back.
deep, and then you could play aggressive man underneath because you have help behind you, and you don't really have to worry about go routes
The
and things like that.
benefit of cover 3.
Cover 3, you're going to keep 8 people at the line of scrimmage more than not. And especially like what Dad was saying, bubble screens, short passing game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight,
And
especially
then the other safety kind of drops in the middle of the field.
Yeah, it could
so
be.
the Seahawks are the perfect example because Earl
Yes.
would cover everything.
Right.
And then you'd have Richard Sherman and then whoever the other corner was,
No
they
doubt.
could cover the back, and then Cam would just sit underneath.
Right, and it looks like it's a lot like man-to-man. It's not man-to-man. It's totally a zone coverage.
Because the corners line right up over the wide receivers.
Exactly right. But like you'll see, like Richard Sherman, he always lets in like in cuts, like 10 yards and in or 20, because that's not his job to cover
And that's
in
what
there.
the Patriots beat him with.
Exactly
all
right.
the in cuts.
They do. I mean, and then then
okay.
Brady has a strong enough arm to. They have enough zone plays to go. Okay, and Brady has a strong enough arm to just jam it in those little 7-yard windows over
but
and over and over.
when you have the guys, when you have the Jimmies and the Joes like Jacksonville does, you can do it.
You can do it. They
because
have
you got
so much.
Bouye and Ramsey and
Yes.
Church and Gibson.
Right, they are stacked that way. It's funny we're even talking about this real quick with Jacksonville. They're so good. They got to stop fucking around on defense.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Let's get to that right now.
Fine.
We have Sims's notebook. Sims sends me pictures of his cursive writing, and I sit at my computer and I go, I think that's a T, and that might be absolute, or it might be obtuse. He wouldn't write obtuse. That's absolute.
Right.
First one. Let's start off with Jacksonville Rams. Jaguars do way too much stunts up front. They need another big defensive tackle.
Yes, they need another big. Right now, Calais Campbell plays defensive end for them. So they have Malik Jackson inside, who's an undersized D tackle, along with the kid Aubrey Jones. And then you got, other man Yannick Ngakoue on the outside as a pass rusher. Yes.
Terps.
They could use a little more size. Like their backups are guys like Sheldon Day. He gets pushed around. But the movement thing, they're good enough to just play it straight up. You don't need to ask Malik Jackson to be in charge of one A gap and then at the snap move all the way over across the other A gap and be in charge of the B gap.
And you think that's a big reason why they're letting up so much in the ground
No
game.
doubt about it.
So
It's
when
too
you're
hard.
watching the Jaguars
Right.
and you're checking them out this weekend, look to see if the guys are going straight ahead
Right.
or if they're stunting around each other.
They stunt too much.
It's
And
interesting.
as you know, these are big, strong guys. I don't give a shit how big or strong you're 290 pounds
running
you're
sideways.
running sideways with another 315 pounder on your back. You're not going to just stop on a dime.
Sean McVay play design may be the best in the NFL.
Yeah.
By the way, for the last 6 weeks, you've been spelling Sean McVay incorrectly.
Have I been VAY?
No, you've been
fix
doing.
that.
No, you've been doing VEIGH.
You're right.
Too
I
many
have.
letters. VAY.
It's just VAY.
But best
Okay.
play design in the NFL.
I do think he's up there. He's the best play stealer in the NFL, which I give him a lot of credit for. Like I've had other coaches in football who I've texted with, and I'm like, I really like McVay's offense. I think it's pretty offense. They're like, well, all he does is steal plays, and I go, well, there's no rules against that.
So he's working extra
So
and
he's
watching your
looking at other
games
great teams and going, oh, that's awesome. Let me do that. Yes, they do everything. They are
Surprise, surprise. He's 31 years old, and he's willing to change.
Yes, it's
Wow.
exactly right. I mean, they everything in the run game, everything in the pass game. I mean, they won that game. It's pretty amazing. They won it with special teams, a few plays on offense, and really just managing Jared Goff not to fuck it up.
And I love that they managed Jared Goff.
Right.
You know, the fact that he knows his quarterback's limitations,
Right.
and Jared Goff will improve.
He will.
But in Jacksonville against that defense,
Yes.
I'd rather give it to Gurley.
Right.
Another one from that game, Jags. I mean, it's 2nd and 7, and there are 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. Josh, it was the first time I've seen 4 underlines this season.
Really?
What are you saying there?
I'm saying, like, it's fucking unbelievable what they're asking out of Leonard Fournette and that offensive line, and that the defenses have no respect for Blake Bortles in certain situations, and they are literally like, safety? Safety?
How rare is it to see 9 guys at the line of scrimmage?
Like, never. Like, unless it's 3rd and 2 and you have, like, shut down corners on the outside.
If they had Allen Robinson, would that be any different?
I don't know if it would be. I
It's
think
just
it's
a
all about
disrespect
Blake
of
Bortles.
Bortles.
And it's just like, man, who's back there at tailback? Oh, 27's back there? Let's get ready for him.
How
But he still ran for 130 yards.
He's the freakiest guy in football. He is one of the greatest athletes we're ever seeing in the history of football. He is Bo Jackson. He is better than Herschel Walker. He is a NFL legend status. He is going there. Yes, I just hope his career can last for more than 4 seasons.
And then Josh went, all right, hey, guys, we're going to have an Instagram.
Chris just said something really good about
Chris
Leonard
just said
Fournette.
something awesome.
I mean,
you
he
really
just
feel
said-
that way?
He's the best running back in the NFL, hands down. He's the best running
Better
back.
than Le'Veon.
He is, in my opinion.
Better than David Johnson when he's healthy.
Yep. There's nobody. You gave me from my offense.
Better than LeGarrette Blount.
My team, again, just like I said last week, when I watched Jacksonville's film and then I went over to watch Pittsburgh's film, I was like, man, Le'Veon Bell's not all that impressive after watching. Same thing with Gurley. I watched Gurley and I was like, kind of a letdown. He's good, but he ain't
not
Leonard Fournette.
I saw Jamal Adams being interviewed on Good Morning Football, and he was like, Leonard Fournette's amazing. Leonard Fournette's the best running back in the NFL.
That's good to hear.
I think he said that.
Good.
He
I mean,
played with him at LSU, so it's tough.
the guy is 240 fucking pounds, and nobody can even come close to catching him.
You were very impressed with Derrick Henry.
Yes,
Also,
right.
What is it about this guy that's that much better than Derrick Henry?
I think Henry's a freak, but Henry doesn't have the quickness to make people miss that spin move. I mean, Fournette ran the ball one time to the right side. It was a 2-yard gain. And I'm telling you, Alec Ogletree, who's one of the freakier linebackers in football, ran up to him full speed and hit him. And I don't even know if Leonard Fournette realized he had been hit. He didn't lose his balance or nothing. He just got knocked out of bounds. And Ogletree was like on his back, like, oh. And it's unbelievable.
Giants, Broncos. You wrote, Giants start the game in 12 personnel, and you triple underlined it.
Yes, 2 tight ends.
Holy
wow.
shit.
Holy shit balls, Batman. They changed an offensive formation, and Lefkoe, they ran more than one running play design that game. They ran more different running plays in the first half of that game than they have the whole year combined.
Including last year, too.
And I mean, yeah, pretty much. You're right.
You also double underlined 88 Engram is a star.
He's going to be
Worthy of the first-round pick.
worthy of the first-round pick. He is going to be – he's a better version of Jordan Reed. I think he's faster than and quicker than I even gave him credit for, I think. And now they're going to feature him in the offense, too. I mean, the game plan was about Evan Engram. It was like they just basically just said, okay,
If you're going 2 tight ends,
he's all we got, right? And he tries to block. I mean, he's not going to win every battle, but he's not like a wuss. He's not like shying away.
Yeah.
But, yes, I think this is what they're going to do going forward, and I would expect him, if you're fantasy, get Evan Engram.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's been scooped up.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to have Matt Camp in here and you do like a fantasy thing where you're like,
We did that a few years
you're
ago.
like, listen, like if you don't have Leonard Fournette, you should get him now. Jets Patriots. It's amazing how the Patriots are so aggressive in the pass game. So many throws downfield, which is what you and your pops were just talking about.
There you go.
And you said the Patriots have more pick plays than any team in the NFL.
They're amazing. You can't even play them man to man. I mean, you just can't. It doesn't matter if they they can pick everybody too. 3 receivers to the right. Well, this play we're going to do the outside 2. Next play we're going to fucking do the inside 2, and the outside guy's just going to run away and clear it out for everybody.
Well-executed picks?
Well executed is an understatement. I mean, literally, I think the fucking pickers are going out there picking for the receiver and like measuring off how many inches they were maybe past the 1 yard mark. I mean,
really?
And they look over to the sideline, I think, to like make sure like did Belichick and McDaniels approve?
You also wrote that Darron Lee popped a lot early.
He really did. Darron Lee played phenomenal. Great sideline to sideline. Affected some Brady throws that he wanted to throw to Gronk, but Lee was all over him. He forced a fumble on the one carry with Gillisley when they were driving in the first half. But more than anything, he was phenomenal in pass coverage against Gronkowski. When he covered Gronkowski man-to-man, Gronk had the amazing scene where Darron really was all over him. It was just an amazing catch and everything else. But other than that, he was phenomenal.
Any hope in the Jets going forward after watching that tape?
Well, the Jets are the Jets are good. They're not going anywhere. I mean, the Jets got the Dolphins this week?
Yes.
That'll be an interesting game in Miami.
Really good game.
It is.
Especially because the Jets aren't going to be able to run on them at all.
I wouldn't think so.
But what are the Dolphins going to be? The problem with the Jets is they're getting 0 pass rush.
0 pass rush, and I don't know. Is the Dolphins' run game, are we going to hit where we hit last year, and all of a sudden they're going to kick ass again? I don't know.
200 yards?
Oh,
it's only if they play the Bills.
It's scary. Just the Dolphins, what's under just doesn't do anything for you. They're very simple in the pass game right now, which I know they're trying to protect, but also it does seem too simple.
Saints-Lions.
Yeah.
Lions defense going forward is a little scary. No nada, and the pass defense was shaky to begin with.
Yes, pass defense is. I mean, we know it's a lot of good. I like Glover Quinn at safety, certainly. I really like Slay, but I do think they're like a player or two away still from having a really good secondary. And then, yes, added to the fact that it's no great pass rush with it.
Yes.
And now it looks like you're going to be able to run the football on them. But also, that has something to do with the Saints. Watch out for the freaking Saints.
Saints' offensive line is healthy and dangerous.
Yes.
Everyone playing where they should be. Streif back makes them a legit force.
Right, and he's not even back, right? So what they're doing right now is you got your man Unger at center. You got Andrus Peat at left guard. Ramczyk at right tackle.
Yep.
Right guard's Watford. Left guard is Teron Armstead.
Those are all good names.
Very good names. They really are. I mean, Pete and Ramczyk are both first rounders.
Yeah.
And I think when you
Teron Armstead is a Pro Bowler.
He is. He's a player. But yes, they can beat you whether they want to go downhill between the tackles. And what they did in this game a lot too is they ran toss and edge runs.
How confident are you feeling that you're going to look really smart at the end of this
Well,
year?
I mean, I've looked stupid I did pick the Giants to go to the Super Bowl, so I take it all in
but
one.
the Saints, do you think they're about to be
I
going
think the
on a
Saints
run?
are one of those teams, like the Saints and the Bengals would be the two teams I would say watch out for in the next 10 weeks in football. They have the potential to make something really happen.
You also wrote, Kamara is really awesome, can do it all, says a lot about him, what they are asking him to do.
Yes. I know in that offense, what they ask of the halfback to do, the rules of pass protection, the route running rules, all that. I was in that offense with John Gruden. It's very similar. Gruden always had a hard time. You had a hard time trusting young backs because you go, man, is he really going to know which way to break here according to coverage? Can I trust this fucking young kid to do that?
Yes.
And Kamara, he's their number one pass weapon. They do him everything with him. So that tells you that he's smart and really understands the game for them to put them in that position.
I got one quick thing here. Do you realize that Ryan Fitzpatrick, every time he's backed up somebody, they've gotten hurt? It's almost the Ryan Fitzpatrick curse. 2005, Mark Bolger, shoulder, 8 games. 2008, Bengals, Carson Palmer, elbow, 12 games. 2009, Bills, Trent Edwards, concussion.
Jeez.
2013, Titans, Jake Locker. 2014, Texans, Ryan Mallett. 2015, Jets, Geno Smith, punched in the face.
Yeah.
2016, Geno Smith, knee. 16, Jets, Bryce Petty. That's when they kept trying to pull him, and people kept getting hurt. And then this year, Jameis Winston. It's the new curse in the NFL.
Man.
And everyone calls him, Fitzmagic. It's magic. I mean,
Fit.
even the guy he was in competition with at Bucks camp this year, Griffin,
got hurt.
He got hurt in
Right.
preseason.
Right, because he was everything you heard, he was going to be the backup.
He was.
I know.
Sounds like some dark magic.
Well,
to
it
me.
fits.
What
Yeah, I
do you
mean,
think?
he's got a shamrock shoved up his ass somewhere or something.
He really does.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
He seems like a good guy.
He does. Yes.
But
I don't know. I don't know.
was he okay in that game?
He was okay in the game. Yes, he really was. He made a lot of good throws. Now the game was over when he got in.
It's so funny to me how defensive players react to him. Like they're all smiling when he's out there and he runs and they're smacking him in the ass and Chandler Jones is yapping him up. Like everybody loves Fitzpatrick
because he's so not threatening. So it's just like, oh, hey, look at it. He's got a crazy beard. He can't be that good, but he seems nice and cool.
We're gonna run through these last few things. MVP board, Chris.
Ba ba ba.
Last week, Aaron Rodgers was number 3. Tom Brady was number 2. Alex Smith was number 1. I've decided at the end of the year, you get 3 points for a 1 vote, 2 points for a 2 vote, 1 point for a 3 vote, and that will be your overarching MVP. Remember, week 1, you went a little awesome. Tyreek Hill was 3, Calais Campbell was 2, and Rodgers was 1. Who is coming in at number 3 after week 6?
Guys, like the defensive guys are getting shit on, then they're not going to make it. But Calais Campbell probably deserves to be in the conversation.
So what are you going to do?
But I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Number 3, Leonard fucking Fournette.
Leonard fucking Fournette. That is not his fucking actual middle name, but I'll write it down here.
Yep.
Leonard Fournette.
Sims is cursing.
I'm at an all-time high. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank
God.
God.
But when he's talking about guys on film, he gets very excited.
Right, he does.
Right.
Leonard Fournette, obviously.
Yes, Leonard Fournette.
He's your last remaining man crush.
You're right. I almost lost him, too. It would have been a bad week 7.
Number 2.
Number 2. We're going to Pennsylvania.
Carson Wentz comes in at number 2.
Yeah, it's official.
This is Carson Wentz's first appearance on the Chris Sims MVP board.
It's going to take a lot to get him off right now because he's a baller supreme. He's been phenomenal. They're 5-1. They're definitely one of the 3 or 4 best teams in football. I think I put him number 2 in my power rankings this week.
And the number 1 on the Chris Sims MVP board from week 6.
DeShone Tom Brady.
The old fakeroo.
I was like, DeShone. At first, I thought you were going to call Jackson. I was like, what? Tom Brady, huh?
Yes, Tom Brady. Yes.
What was it? The throws to Brady Cooks?
It's like opposite Tom Brady from when we first started this podcast. It's the opposite. When people used to think I was a Brady hater. I mean, it's truly the opposite. I mean, it was like a little bit what we talked about my dad. It was a lot of dink and dunk and bullshit yards. And damn, Brady had an amazing stats. He was 36 for 46, and he didn't make one fucking throw for the whole game.
And now he's just
now it's the opposite.
Brady bombs away.
Now it's like they don't even fucking throw a screen. It's deep past the Cooks, deep past the Gronkowski. It's unbelievable.
In the celebration power rankings, it was the first time that Kareem Hunt was no longer number 1 after sleeping on the ball in week number 2. The Packers bobsled team currently has the throne. I have 5 dances to try and dethrone them.
Okay.
First one up, Antonio Brown, after his crazy catch, does the Wu-Tang. This is called the Wu-Tang. I looked it up. It is a dance in North Philly where you do a little bit of over the head and you throw it and then it gets passed. And he passed it there to Juju Smith-Schuster and Le'Veon Bell did a little bit there. That's
called, a Philly thing too?
I looked it up.
How?
It's called the Wu-Tang.
Gotta be honest, I've seen a lot of Wu-Tang in my day. That was a pretty weak Wu-Tang from Antonio.
There's no chance you've
just my
seen
opinion.
any Wu-Tang.
I mean, I grew up with Wu-Tang, and I don't remember that move.
Golden Tate did the people's elbow after his touchdown.
This was great.
Drops on the ball doing the people's elbow. Now, The Rock did tweet him out and said he was very impressed. My first take was football guys are fucking crazy that they just fall like that.
Yeah.
Like normal human beings, like, I'm going to put my arm out. No, he just fell. Mark Ingram did the backpack dance, which the backpack kid dance.
This is amazing.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
So have you seen the backpack kid?
Well, my little girl used to do it all the time.
The Katy Perry backpack kid dance.
Right.
So Mark Ingram whipped it out.
That's pretty good.
He later tweeted it out and said the pressure got to him, wasn't as happy with it as he thought he would. Steelers, Le'Veon Bell beating up the goalpost, stealing a little Vi Sikahema. Boom, boom,
He's
boom,
a lefty,
boom.
too. I like that.
The 1-2. He did get penalized for that.
Why?
Which I don't know how you got penalized.
I don't even get that.
And then I'm going to throw this in there. Marquette King did the Sean Merriman lights out dance against the Chargers. I just don't know if you want to do punters.
There's no way a punter's making my list.
All right, and it also was a touchdown. So the Antonio Brown Wu-Tang, the Golden Tate People's Elbow, the Mark Ingram backpack kid, and the Le'Veon Bell beat up the goalpost. 2 wins for week 6.
Oh, well, the one that wins week 6 for me is the Golden Tate People's Elbow.
Golden Tate
Good call.
People's
Yeah.
Elbow.
Yeah.
Did you like The Rock back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really ever
You're not
pay
a big
attention.
wrestling guy.
I like Rock though. I do like his movies, and I watch them. Sure.
Golden Tate People's Elbow versus Packers bobsled team.
Tough.
It is tough.
It's not easy.
I think I'm going with the people's elbow.
The people's elbow. Hey, what I will do for our man Mark Bagent. People's elbow is currently leading in the solo category, and Packers bobsled team is leading in the team. However, People's elbow is the number one undisputed people's champ.
Right.
So you weren't a wrestling fan.
Like a little Hulk Hogan in that era, like at 87, 88, when he was like ripping off his red tank top. Yeah, sure.
Did
yes.
Big Phil? We should have asked Big Phil.
Big
if he
Phil
ever liked
ruined
wrestling.
it for me. Big Phil was
What do you
like
mean?
he
This
was
is
the one
fake.
like, oh, you're watching this fake shit, and I was just like, oh man, I was like, this is fake, fucking A. I didn't know at that point.
You're like, no, me and Lawrence Taylor, we actually go and fucking hit each other. All right, we're wrapping up. We're up to iTunes comments. God, whatever Sims wants, he fucking gets.
I
What a
wish the Yankees
bum.
played every Wednesday.
Lefkoe's rants, Brad G1010. Absolutely love the podcast. Love Lefkoe's world event rants at the end and the everyman perspective it brings forth. Keep up the good work. Should make it a regular segment called Get Right or Get Lefkoe.
Yeah.
A lot of good iTunes comments with segment names.
Lefkoe.
Man. Next one up, this is the good old Ragamuffin Rider commenting. I listened to the Week 5 show. It was my first download of this podcast. Great show, great insight, next level analysis. I'm on board, and you guys
Welcome.
can rant anytime.
Thank you.
Ooh, I like
Thank
it.
you, Ragamuffin Rider.
That was professional.
This one, good question here for Sims from Auric O'Connell. Called us the most unique podcast in sports. Why, thank you. These are the kind of takes we yearn for in today's sports media. These guys are trendsetters in their competition. They'd be wise to imitate. Question for Sims, if you could remove one franchise from the NFL, who would it be and why?
Pull up the teams. Pull up the teams.
Pull up the teams.
Pulling up the
Pull up the
teams.
teams. Can't just say the Jets because they're local.
Number
No,
14.
it wouldn't be the Jets. One team from the NFL. I
If
mean,
you could remove them.
yep.
Don't say Cleveland either.
I mean, Cleveland was definitely in my brain. Yeah,
That's
sorry.
an easy answer.
It is an easy answer. I mean, hold on. One team. Here
If you had
we
to
go.
relegate them down to college.
Damn, that's really fucked up to do any of these teams because I am like a old school guy.
Factor all of that in.
All that in would go to Jacksonville Jaguars. I would have to relegate them to Class B football because their uniforms are ugly, their stadium's never full, they play in London, and they've been shitty for a long time, and they made the dumbest fucking pick at number 3 quarterback Blake Bortles ever. So
You are like a very picky jersey person.
I am.
Who is your favorite in the NFL?
Ooh, favorite jersey in the NFL. I mean, I love teams like Pittsburgh, right? The old traditional Pittsburgh. I actually do like the New York Jets, the Dallas Cowboys.
Who else do you hate? Jaguars and who
Oh,
else?
like I played for the Tennessee Titans. I think that shit's horrible. I mean, I used to put it on and look in the mirror and be like, "Damn, look at this
Am
crap."
I about to wear this?
Look at this crap. I don't even like Tampa's uniforms are better than that, but I don't think Tampa's
too
are that
busy.
great. It's too much, right? I used to wear that too and be like, "Damn, look at this." Red and pewter and shit.
I am the worst critic in everything. I watch movies. I love them all. I look at clothes. I go, that looks good. Sims is over here and he's like, oh, cold lobster on a roll? No. Fucking eat anything.
I like the Seahawks uniforms a lot. That the
Do you?
new school ones.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite new school
You
uniforms.
like the Eagles? You like the old
I
gray?
want the old green.
Yeah.
Can
The
we bring it back?
The Bears are classics.
The Bears are definitely. I was going to say them and the Packers.
One thing
yes.
that we love talking about on this podcast is people fighting.
Oh, yeah.
This one is from VVVVFVSXXMHD. Street fight. That's his comment title. Can you please stop betting on the Niners so we can win a game? Problem is we're winning all of our bets because they're covering everything. Head coach and GM street fights. Who would you guys take? Kyle and Lynch?
There'd be some feistiness about them.
I
That's
don't
for
know.
sure.
I'm not taking Kyle in a street fight. You look at the teams. I'll tell you the ones I came up with.
Okay, all right.
Bruce Arians and Steve Keim. I just think Bruce Arians would like put a cigar out in someone's face. Oakland, Jack Del Rio and Reggie McKenzie.
That's what my brain is going to ex-players and
Yes,
like Reggie
and
and
Reggie
Jack.
is a monster.
He's a monster. You're right.
Denver with Vance Joseph and John Elway.
Yep.
I just think they're both athletic.
They are.
And then my number one,
Yeah.
New England. Belichick and Belichick. It's two fucking Belichicks. What are you going to do?
He'll find a way.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine a Belichick game planning with a Belichick? You have no chance.
Yeah, okay.
I already went through all the teams.
Yeah,
so I don't know if you're going to find
You're pretty good. I know. I'm just giving it one quick look. Like, I'm just, let's see.
While you look real quick from the BR app, Andrew Luck suffers setback, won't practice this week. Colts cannot confirm he will play in 2017.
Holy crapola.
Another BR app. Seahawks Pro Bowl defensive end Cliff Averill weighing retirement after going on IR with neck injury.
Yeah.
You said that there were some early reports where it sounded really bad.
Yeah, I mean, he just, it was a weird injury. Like what you said, he fell on the back of Jacoby Brissett's foot, and the heel must have hit him somewhere in that neck base area, and he was losing feeling. And I had a few people tell me, like, they were scared he might not play the rest, because I think he was losing feeling in his arms.
Broncos question from Chaz Based. Sims is better than Siemian. Solid podcast. Listen to every episode for a couple years now. Sims should be calling games on TV with his dad, but Big Phil phone calls suffice. Lefkoe can't rap or pick games, but otherwise you're the man. Thanks. Wasn't there one more dude with an annoying voice?
Talk up.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Question for Sims. Should the Broncos look at another option for next year at quarterback, or is Sims still capable? It's a loaded question with, what's his name still there?
Paxton Lynch.
Yeah.
I think it's still to be determined.
Siemian, not Sims.
Yeah, you said Sims, but it's okay.
Sorry.
It's still to be determined, but, like I've been saying all week since last week, which is like your favorite thing. I mean, he just got to pull in the reins there, big boy. He thinks he's Aaron Rodgers.
So you think he could be a quarterback in this league?
I do. Yes, I do. But if we go like 5 more weeks here where I go, holy shit, is he making some dumb decisions and stupid? It's going to make me reevaluate that.
It's unbelievable what a bye week can do to people. My favorite in-depth podcast, and it's not close, from CDuff24. How important is the middle linebacker to a defense? Great ones like Kuechly and Wagner change the defense entirely, but middle linebackers rarely are drafted high. Great ones are great ones few and far between? Is the position underrated? What do you think, Sims?
I think
is it becoming more important with having to cover tight ends and running backs?
It is definitely becoming more important. It's more important too to have a guy with brains there now more than ever with some of the up-tempo offenses and things you got to do at the line of scrimmage. You have to be an extension of that. The coaching staff to a degree. I think we're seeing an all-time high of great middle linebackers. I mean, we're at you just think about it. All right, let's go to the AFC North. Burfict, C.J. Mosley, Ryan Shazier, Jamie Collins is in that division too. Okay, I mean, you just go through the teams and you go.
Is Dante Hightower a middle linebacker?
He's a little bit of a hybrid.
Hicks.
I mean, your guy exactly. I mean, you see Michael Kendricks. I mean, it's very important.
The Falcons guys, the Bucks guys.
It's if you really go through the quality teams of
the
football,
Seahawks guys,
right? You're going to start to go, oh, they have those guys. You're right, and yes, it's very important because of what he just said: the tight ends, the running backs, the up-tempo offenses, all that stuff.
Good question. This one's a little Brosen, the best. You guys are the best. You know it. So this is mostly a question that won't fit on Twitter. Adam mentioned the Gurley fumble last week when we were talking about Austin Seferian-Jenkins, but no one's calling that one a blown call. A loose ball is out of bounds when it touches a boundary line or anything that is on or outside such line, including a player, official, or pylon. Gurley is obviously not touching the ball with his fingers. And stepping out of bounds.
But the ball went over the goal line and out of the
ball should have been dead at the 1. I think it should have been a blown call this year. I think I've seen more blown calls with replay this year than ever before. Is there a change in staff? What's the deal? By the way, Bean's not me.
Well, yeah, I mean, the change in staff is that you got Dean Blandino at Fox now, and they got Al Riveron in the studio and in the New York offices. Yeah, I agree. I think they've blown a few calls too. Certainly. I mean, the Jets thing certainly was blown in my eyes. What was he? Is he arguing that he doesn't think those are touchbacks either?
He was saying that Gurley should have been out the 1 because his foot was out of bounds too.
All right, but it's where the ball is too. But and we had that argument on Monday, like, because I hear a lot of people talking about that whole thing, like, oh, what, the team fumbles at the 1 and the ball goes out of the end zone. They should get the defense didn't recover. They should have the ball at the 1. I just don't believe that. My argument.
Your thing is that is their zone.
That is their zone.
The ball went out in their zone.
Right. The New England Patriots, that was their 10 by 53. And if you lose the ball and are careless with it and it rolls out in their territory, well, it's their fucking ball now. Sorry.
Bob Hinkelheim. Love the pod. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work. My question is, do you think the Dolphins' offensive woes under Cutler will make fans appreciate what Tannehill did with a similar offense last year? People need to stop underrating him. He's a top 10 to 12 QB.
He is in that class, and especially last year, he definitely was. Tannehill has got a definitely unfair rap in my eyes, but I do think they're missing Cutler, but I'm not ready to totally make that statement. We saw this last year from the Dolphins. They were the worst team in football through like the first 4 weeks, and they kind of changed it around. I'm not going to count them out because of that running game and because of the depth on that front four. Like we said on Monday on that podcast,
game is interesting.
They have 8 guys that can play legit, and they play legit football, and they're solid.
Save this one for the end because it's my favorite. Fan of Madden Mobile, the Aaron Rodgers of podcasts. This podcast will take you from being a football fanatic to savant. Listen to Adam and Chris has become a staple of my week, and I hope to stick around well into the future. Where can I listen to the podcast? Through an implant in my brain. Also, can you guys compare Reggie White, prime J.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald?
Wow. All right, so Reggie, for the most part, was always on the edge, right? He was a true defensive end, which is crazy because he's bigger than the other 2 guys we just talked about who played more inside. Reggie,
you have no doubt that he could have played inside?
Reggie could have done whatever he wanted.
Could have played cornerback?
I mean, I think my dad would argue that even for today's standards, Reggie would be a freak, period. And we have a lot of freaks at that position.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a guy that was 305, 310 pounds who could beat you with enough speed around the edge, but yet also throw you off of him like a toy. So I think Reggie, from that standpoint, is unlike any other human you've ever seen. And I mean, God rest his soul, I met Reggie a few times in person. I mean, all-time legs and ass, okay? And then he's 6'5", and it's an easy 300. Like, it's not like he's having to get in there and, I got to eat an extra meal, or it's literally like, I better watch what I eat or I'm going to be 330.
What about prime J.J. Watt?
Prime J.J. Watt is maybe the most disruptive D lineman I've ever seen. He went through a run there, I think, in 4 or 5 years. I mean, J.J. Watt's hands down first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down one of the best defensive linemen to ever play the game. I don't care what his stats say, anything like that. He was a total game plan changer, a total, we have to adjust what we're going to do against them this week. There's no way we can leave our guard and tackle one-on-one with him all game. I don't care who your guard and tackle was. So a lot like a Reggie White in that aspect, but just not on the edge as much.
He also had like the swatting of balls.
Yeah, he's amazing, right? I mean, I told you the stories about New England. I mean, New England, I had to break film down to basically find out certain formations where he was going to be away from where we were trying to throw it, because Bill was not going to let J.J. Watt swatting the balls ruin our game plan in New England. So we made tapes of, show me all the tapes he's on the left side. And I had to go through games and go, here he is on the left side. So we could orchestrate the quick passing game to be on the right side to not mess with him. And then Aaron Donald is like a Warren Sapp, but probably even a hair more athletic than a Warren Sapp, but a slightly less stout as a Warren Sapp.
So Warren was a little bit better against the run.
A little bit. To me, and again, it might be a little bit about the system in general, because Donald's just been in 2 systems where it's just like, get upfield, fly up there. It doesn't really matter. Where Sapp was a little bit like that, but they did make him hold his ground from time to time. Donald, though, again, is one of the all-time greats. He's on pace to be first ballot Hall of Famer. He's that special of a guy, yes.
So 1, 2, 3.
I would still go Reggie 1. I'm going to go for now J.J. 2 and Aaron Donald, but Aaron Donald is not written yet. Like, J.J. Watt is on the last quarter of his career.
Yeah.
But Aaron Donald, he has a chance to catch a J.J. Watt, but that'll be really tough.
I mean, people need to remember, and I'm sure they do, and I hope they do, there was that year where there was a legitimate campaign for J.J. Watt to win MVP.
Yes. I mean,
he was the only one. He had 20 sacks. He took some interceptions back to the house.
Yes.
He was
caught
winning
some
games.
Touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right.
Solo for his team. He was winning games by himself.
Right.
And now it is time for you to go. Sims, you're going to go catch your train. Coming up in a few minutes.
Go Yanks.
1 minute. Rich Cohen, my interview with him. Awesome author. My favorite one. So take that for what it's worth. Wrote an awesome great book about the Cubs, Chicago Cubs, the Legend of a Curse. For Sims.
Peace out, homies.
For Fendrick.
Good night, everybody.
I am Lefkoe. Man. Here is the second part of the podcast, the interview with Rich Cohen. And tomorrow we will have our pick show where we'll go through all of the picks. And Sims is going to make fun of the fact that I am down thousands of dollars. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.